Hello and welcome to this episode of Rise the Victor. This is Chris being your host and my wife.
A very tipsy Linzi.
Tipsy?
I've just had a couple of glasses of wine.
Well, actually, yeah, we were doing this before, but the memory card ran out.
Somebody, yes, didn't check.
And then we just watched Boris talking about the changes to lockdown. So this episode is about Toltec Principles. Toltec Principles, these ancient principles which are... Who is it?
Don Miguel Ruiz.
Okay, where's he from?
Mexico.
Okay, and what are they about?
What are they about? It's a wisdom, the Toltec Wisdom from ancient times. I've got the giggles.
And how many of them are there?
Four. There are 4 Toltec Principles. And would you like me to share them with you? The first one...
Always be impeccable with your word.
Be impeccable, yes. Be impeccable with your word. The second is don't take anything personally. The third is don't make assumptions. And the fourth is always do your best. And by
Are you
following...
doing your best right now?
I am, actually. I'm doing my very best. I'm not taking anything personally, what you've just said to me. I'm not making any assumptions. Now I've forgotten what I'm... Oh, stop it. Basically, following these 4 agreements, 4 principles, however you want to phrase them, can potentially change your life, your belief system, your outlook, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about others, how you feel about your world. It's interesting, when I first discovered these, no, I didn't discover them, someone introduced them to me.
We were driving back in the car, weren't we?
Sorry?
It was a weekend training we had, wasn't it? And then suddenly we're going, crikey.
Yes, yes, we were. You're right. And we were attempting to follow these, and
going, my goodness, the first one is so hard.
30 seconds. I've just completely broken one of the agreements. It is, and it's something that you just go with the flow.
I mean, ultimately, I think we need to really go a bit deeper. Basically, the Toltec Principles give us the ability to break free from our belief system. So our belief system is a bit like the rule book of how we live our life. And as we grow up, we are domestified based on the values and the beliefs of the people around us. So we have our parents and the people who have the most influence to us. And of course, social bias as to how we conform to social and religious, conform to certain ways of how we should live our lives. So, when you're a child, you play happily and you're not fearing the future. You're not reflecting on the past. You're just being present and carefree love. And over time, we get conditioned by what we should do and what we shouldn't do. And if we do something, we're rewarded. If we do something wrong, we're punished. And slowly over time, we get conditioned to those values and beliefs which is held by the people we care about. Yes,
our identity is based on the opinions and the judgments of those around us.
Yeah, and effectively it's handed down through generations. So ultimately, how you perceive the world and what you can achieve in the world is very much down to the beliefs that you hold about yourself and of the world. And 95% of those beliefs are lies, because effectively they've been instilled over a period of time. And as a consequence, we may not reach our full potential because we are looking to conform, because we are mammals, and as a result of mammals we want to be in herds and feel safe in groups. So our identities start to align with certain groups or identities. So the first principle is
be impeccable with your word.
And that's really how important is how your communication is with other people. But more importantly, it's the communication you have with yourself. Now, one of the things we have in society is reality TV, and how people aspire to be on reality TV. I mean, coming out of the lockdown, one of the massive benefits, in my view, I think yours as well, is there's no Love Island this year. Now, of course, the presenter committed suicide earlier this year as a result of pressures and social pressures of things which have how misreported, whatever you want to take from that. And previous contestants have made attempts to commit suicide, and also, because they have this idea of being on TV, becoming famous and notable for something, and somehow perceive it as some desirable outcome. And ultimately, it's not the love which they have of themselves, it's a love that they seek from people, a love and admiration from people external to them. So when they don't achieve that, then they are discontented, unhappy, depressed, all these different emotions. Because when we're young, we love ourselves and everything we do, but over time we get conditioned to create an identity of who we should be or who we should become. And often then we get lost in not being ourselves.
Yeah, I was just thinking back actually to when I was young, being told, I was probably only about 5, 6 possibly, by somebody that I was shy. I was labelled as being very shy, and that stuck with me. So
it's an identity.
Exactly. I did shyness. It's taken a long, long time to remove that label.
Yeah. Now you run around with... Sorry. And another thing, people get told, oh, you're a warrior. You've always been a warrior. An identity that you're always going to be worrying about something. And again,
guess what? You end up worrying.
It's assuming an identity. This is me. And reality, it's just something which has been given to you by someone else. It's an identity based on the behaviour that you may have learnt from someone around you.
But so many people can't relate to that, or they don't believe that.
Yeah.
They believe that is them. That they'll never change. That's just how I am. And they're stuck in that trap in their mind that no matter what, if someone says anything different, it's like, no, this is me.
Yeah.
It's never going to change. I'm never going to change. It's impossible.
Absolutely. So, it's very much understanding your words and the vocabulary you use and how you define yourself is going to define your reality and what you can achieve in life. Okay. So what's the second?
Okay, so don't take anything personally.
How dare you? So don't take anything personal. So often a person's behaviour towards you is often a reflection of their own reality and how they perceive the world. And what can happen is someone reacts or responds in some way, in some negative way, that we can take it personally, which is the next one, isn't it? Making assumptions, and making those assumptions then form a belief. Nobody likes me. Nobody loves me. Yeah, so it's about understanding that, not taking something personally and going, looking at that person's behaviour and understanding that maybe they must be having a really tough time in their own lives, in their relationships, in their work, or in their finances, and their life, whatever, and cutting them some slack rather than retaliating and responding to and forming some opinion, some idea for making assumptions.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what's going on in anybody else's head.
Yeah.
We might think we do.
It's, I use an example of road rage. So with road rage, someone, if you cut someone up in traffic or for whatever reason, not necessarily intentionally but inadvertently, and then that person reacts with an extreme response, and it's maybe aggressive and threatening. And the reality is, you're the person who has effectively cut that person up. The action of what's happened is not necessarily so bad, in a sense. It's more that person is potentially having so much stuff in their life which is overwhelming. Maybe they're going through divorce, whether or not they're having bankruptcy or relationship issues or some horrific events happening in life, but their response is so extreme, and effectively there's a tipping point in their behaviour which is out of context and out of for that person as an individual. So consequently, that they're like a pressure cooker, and then exploding to that. So it's very much understanding that the response reaction a person has towards your actions is looking and stepping back and going, wow, that person must be having a tough time for whatever. And when you see it in that way, then you're able to react.
Show compassion.
Show compassion rather than reacting to
taking it personally and going, oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah. And of course, and which follows on to the not making assumptions, because assumptions are false evidence about what is the true meaning or true fact of something. Because if you form an assumption that nobody loves me because that person was so horrible to me, okay, it's going to inhibit your life experiences and how you perceive yourself. Yeah, so it's understanding those assumptions.
Yeah, so don't make assumptions. I was just looking at what Don Miguel says and how he describes about finding the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. That's quite a big statement. So the fourth agreement, always do your best. Chris, why are you laughing? Christopher?
I'm just thinking, are you doing your best on this podcast?
No, I'm not. It's Sunday evening. I've had too much chocolate today and one too many glasses of wine.
So, okay.
So do your best.
And that's really important actually, because always do your best. It's going to change from day to day. I'm really glad you said that.
From moment to moment.
From moment to moment. So right now, Linzi's best is not so best. It's a different level of best to what it would be another time. And that's accepting that you are going to be different from day to day. So when you wake up feeling amazing, then great, that best is going to be better. But if it's not such a great day because you're not feeling so motivated and driven, then your best is going to be different. But it's with the intention of how you show up to be your best wherever you can. Because if you do your best and still and fail, then you at least have the understanding. Stop poking your finger up in the air. Is that by doing your best, you can say, you know what, I did my best. That's okay. Rather than not putting the effort in, not putting 100% into something, and then having regret after that maybe you could have done better. Okay, so it's very important to understand that. But you can. So the Toltec Principles. If you look on YouTube, there are some really good videos on Toltec, and we have them in our aftercare programs and membership sites. And it really does get you to think about how you're perceiving the world and the reality you've created in your mind, or more so being created for you by other people when you weren't in a position to make that decision. Because as a child, as a baby, your mind was populated with the beliefs and values of people around you rather than that of your own choice. But as you become an adult, then you have the option to look back at those beliefs and go, are they really real? Think about money mindset. Money mindset, often people, money is bad, money is evil, all these things. They're just a belief. They're just an instilled belief from someone in your life who thinks badly of money. Okay, likewise, there's religion, there's all of these things. It's not fixed in stone. It's also,
I just had a thought in my head. It's also about what people watch on TV, the films, the movies, those messages that we are bombarded with. Because now we have big widescreen TVs, we have things on our phones where there's a lot of interaction with screens, and there we are being fed a lot of stuff as well from that,
absolutely.
aren't we? And again,
Absolutely.
forming beliefs and believing what we're seeing and hearing in that way as well. So it's not just family members or teachers or...
No, and the thing is, it's more of we have a richer experience now because of all of these abilities to tap into other people's realities. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, but it is a case of that there's more opportunities for you to be conditioned, and one of the biggest conditioning is you sitting on your mobile phone, on a smartphone, looking at a little screen and reading social media posts or fake news or whatever. And this is what we go back to, one of the things about how to protect yourself during lockdown is not look at your social media posts, because there's so much false evidence and misinformation in that process, because all those things are helping you form a belief about and creating a reality in your mind. So just be mindful of what you're allowing into your mind.
And this is really key at the moment with our children. They are 3.5, and you know how we talk to them, how we communicate with them, what they understand at this age, and
spiders.
Yeah.
Yes, the spiders. They were never afraid of spiders. And
you're not born with a fear of spiders.
But watching TV, and they watched...
Thanks to Peppa Pig, there's an episode where his mummy pig is terrified of the spider.
Yeah.
And so Peppa and George, and they all scream. Up until that point, Charlotte had no problem.
Fear, yeah.
And saw that episode, and now... So we are now having to reprogram their minds.
So it's understanding the same for that other one, their fear of the dark, and they are a child who's absorbing that information like a sponge and forming a belief.
I do not allow the children to watch Bing anymore, because there was an episode where Bing got shut in a cupboard and was trapped in the dark. There was an episode with the fireworks, with the loud noises, and there's been several other episodes where he's basically just been installing fear into young minds. Fortunately, the children don't watch an awful lot of TV, but I'm very selective as to what they do watch.
Yeah. So just understanding the Toltec principles will help you recognise your belief system as being how it's been conditioned and how you can adjust it for you, but also that of your children. Understand every communication you have with them, and every communication they have with society, or through social media, or through TV news, or programs, is influencing how their beliefs are being formed in their mind. And as soon as you're more aware of that, then you can control and so that they become children which are empowered rather than inhibited through their learning.
I was just going to mention, actually, along with the 4 agreements, Don Miguel also has a couple of other books that are really, really worthwhile reading. The 5 Levels of Attachment, The Voice of Knowledge, The Mastery of Love. Check them all out if you want to research and do a little bit more.
Do you want to put them in the show notes?
Yes, I will, actually. Yeah, I'll pop them into the show notes.
So we'll drop the show notes in the show notes, and I'd love to hear what you think about this.
No, please don't.
This podcast.
Please don't give us feedback. We won't take it personally.
No, we won't take it personally. We won't make assumptions.
Please be impeccable with your word.
Yeah, and we always
say what you mean.
But I think until next time, bye for now.
Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
Stay safe. Bye bye.